Hi everyone, it's Chris here from L3D and I have got a good one for you today. I have the OMTech M30 30 watt MOPA fiber laser. This is my first fiber laser and I'm going to be showing you guys exactly what a MOPA laser can do. This one in particular is from OMTech and they have kindly sent it to me, but they will not be having any influence on this video. So if you're interested to find out more and you want to see what a MOPA laser, a 30 watt fiber MOPA laser is capable of, stick around and we will get straight to it. So if you're wondering what a fiber laser is, fiber lasers are really great for marking metals. They can get vibrant contrasting colors. They're really good for slate. They're good for plastics. They're just another alternative laser that has a different wavelength frequency, which allows it to interact with non-organic materials really well. So today we'll be doing slate, we'll be doing stainless steel, we'll be doing aluminium, we will be doing 3D printed materials, and we will also be doing some other bonus materials. So stick around on the channel, enjoy this video and follow the channel if you get something great from this video. We're now going to take a look at the web page and the advertising specification. So as you can see, this is a 30 watt MOPA JPT laser. It's advertised as a laser cutter and engraver, and specifically it comes with a enclosure to make it a class 1 laser, which is good for a lot of environments. As you can see, MOPA lasers are very good at getting color on stainless steel because you can control the frequency and also the pulse size. There is a rotary engraving tool. It is LightBurn compatible, and there is a 175 by 175 millimeter enclosure area, which is really good. That's the bed size on it. 100,000 hour lifespan, which is really long, and 7,000 millimeters per second speed. This is billed at £2,800 on the UK website, but prices will vary depending on your country. Here is everything that you get with the laser, and as you can see, we've got the actual main laser itself, Z-axis with a toggle at the top which allows you to raise and lower it manually. Also comes with the safety glasses, which actually look like good quality safety glasses. And then you also get a toolbox, and in the toolbox you have tape measure, number of screws, Allen keys, and a European plug. Moving on to the actual main unit itself. So the laser itself is a two-parter. So you've got this, which is basically the brains of the laser. And on this, you have your emergency stop, you have a reset button, and the scan head on-off safety key. It comes with two handles, which are self-retracting, which are nice. And listen to me when I say this. This thing is heavy duty, but it is an absolute beast. And I do like that about it. I like that it's heavy. I like that it's robust. It feels very industrial. Now, this particular laser also comes with this enclosure right here, which makes it a class 1 laser. So without that, it is not a class 1 laser, but it comes with this enclosure. And as you can see, it has a door and it has an internal fan that is powered by the actual unit itself. There's a cable that goes into it. And then you have a retractable rear cover that allows you to obviously raise and lower. Within this as well, which you can't see at the moment, you might be able to if I see them, there are also limit switches. And I've got these taped up at the moment. I'll tell you why in a minute. But these limit switches go on the door so that it has a safety off, shut off mechanism. So you open the door, the laser will shut down. So this has been provided me. Also, what I will say is when it is powered in, there is an LED halo at the top, so you can actually see in there as well. Really, really handy if you have this somewhere where you really just want to close it up. That being said, for today's demonstration and for all the testing I've been doing over the previous weeks, I have not been using this. And that is because I have been wearing, well, I haven't been wearing these ones because I already own a pair of safety glasses, but I have been wearing safety glasses at all times when operating this, and I've been keeping it locked in a locked room, so it's been safe. So I will be packing that away, but I just wanted to show you guys exactly what it comes with so that if you are considering this laser, you are aware that you can get it with an enclosure, and that enclosure is sufficient to keep you safe, especially in your work environment or whatever it is. But as you can see, compared to the overall machine, it is a large enclosure. Let's move on to these things right here. I'm gonna pack that back away now, but I just wanted to show you guys. So as I said, I've removed the enclosure, but you're gonna notice there is still the top of the enclosure here, and that is for a very key reason. The actual limit switches, which you cannot operate this laser without them being activated, hence why they are taped shut, they pass through the little kind of perimeter of this upper lid of the enclosure, which means unless I want to physically kind of break this apart and remove them from there, the whole thing has to basically stay with the laser if you want to operate the laser without the enclosure. So what I've been doing is putting this behind the laser on the floor, and as I said, I taped the limit switches closed and it allows this to work. However, if you do not tape them closed, and I haven't found a solution to this, there might be one out there, so OMTech or anyone who uses an OMTech laser, let me know. But if you haven't taped them closed or found a way to keep them basically triggered, this will not power up and let you use it. So I wanted to make you guys aware of that as well. So we'll take a closer look at this one now. So as I showed you a minute ago, you have the emergency off button, you have a green reset button, and you have the key activated scan head activator. So the unit itself, like I said, it's like a PC size, and it comes with these two industrial handles, self-retracting at that. And this thing is probably, if I had to estimate the weight of it, I would probably say it is somewhere in the region of, I don't know, 10 kilograms. I could be wrong. If we go to the back of this, so you'll see it has what I refer to as an umbilical cord. When you get this laser, it is already attached, and this attaches directly on to the actual laser head there. So that is already attached. So the two have to live within a certain distance to each other, but it is a really long cable, so it's not an issue. Let's look at the back of this then. So there you go. You have the information on the laser itself there. So you have your umbilical cord output, you also have your fan outputs, and then this is where you plug in your USB cable into your PC. So the actual enclosure that I showed you a minute ago, this is where it plugs into, and you have to have that plugged in, by the way, when you're operating it. You have a foot pedal, which I haven't shown you, also comes in, a rotary tool, which I have and I'll be using at some point. And then you have a industrial size power outlet, and I really like this, and I'll show you it now. So you can see here is our power cable. It comes with it. I got a UK one, but it also comes with a European one. But I love it when they've got a threaded retaining feature on these, because it means it's not going to accidentally fall out in the middle of an engraving session, and it keeps it safe, keeps it in. Finally, at the bottom, there is an earth cable, so if you want to earth your machine. On the other side, just more of the same. So this unit is actually surprisingly quiet when in use. And I was actually really impressed by it, and it does just sit nicely under the desk. I have mine under the desk, you can have it next to it. Let's move on to this. So here we have our Galvo laser, and as I said earlier, it comes with a laser head that you can manually raise or lower. You can actually get other lenses for it, I believe. I've got the 175 lens. Also, it twists out, but you also comes with a lens cap. So if you have got one of these, make sure you take that off, because you do need to take that off. You'll actually see, I didn't take mine off. I forgot, and I actually melted the top of that a little bit. So there's a lesson you should learn through my errors. So what we have is we have a base plate, which allows you to screw in M6 screws. And this does come with a number of bracing L-shaped brackets that allow you to actually get your parts tied down. There are some more details there. It's showing you the kind of the Galvo and the spot size and all that stuff. So the actual unit itself, as you can see, this bit came unassembled, so I had to attach this to this, and that was via 4 screws, which you can see under there. That was fairly easy to do. I did get my wife to help me with that, and this bit here was already attached. That was easy enough. And you'll see down the Z-axis here, you have a number of measurements. This is to help you actually align this from the item, because you have to manually focus this one. And you do that by rotating this. And if I show you, as I'm rotating, if I point to that arrow there, you're going to see it goes up or it goes down. And this can be retracted and put in there. So that's it. What I actually did, and I will put the link for this, this was a file someone put on Maker World. This is a adjustable focusing tool, which you slot on there. You obviously line it up to whatever item you have under there, and it means you can easily tell it's 363 millimeters away each time you do it. This did actually come with, and I'll show you it, the laser did actually come with a 60 centimeter or 24-inch ruler for my American viewers. And I have been using this, so the way it works is from the bottom of the bed there to the underside of that red mark. I have been using that manually to actually focus it and keep it away. However, like I said, I recently printed this and that has sped up that process. The link for this will be in the description. I don't get paid, it's not my design, but it's a great design, so you should use it if you need one. So there you go, this is actually our unit. I'm now going to take you through how to plug things in and how to get this set up and started. So as I mentioned, here is the power cable. We're going to plug that in first, which it plugs into this main unit here. And you have a little grommet which protects it, which is great if you need that. So just rotate it around until you locate it. There's 3 pins in here, so it will only go in one way. And once you've got it in, push it all the way in, tighten the thread, and it will pull it in really tight. And then what you have is a very safe cable with really good cable strain relief as well. So this is going to be really good for industrial side of things. The next thing we need to plug in is the protective cover, which goes into that port there. And this is the one that I mentioned to you, that big blue enclosure that we got. This is basically what powers the LED in it, the fan in it, and also the limit switches pass through and tell the machine. So push that in there like so. And then we're going to screw, and I'm not going to show you it now, but you screw the 2 screws either side. If I actually show you it. There you go, screw those in, and there you go. We have our connector, which we're going to plug straight in there, as shown. And we now have all of our connectors plugged in. So all that I need to do now is position this unit where I need it. What I will say for this unit is you want to keep it somewhere accessible, because if you have an emergency, you want to be able to power that. Once you're ready to go, first thing you want to do is make sure your emergency stop is not engaged. Mine was, so I've done that. Then you need to turn the scan head key, and you might hear it power up. And when we press this button, you get an initial power up of the fans. Then you will hear your PC connected to it. And also, what I forgot to mention is on the top here, there is a focus switch. If I press that button, which I'll try and do here, you'll see down there 2 little dots appear. Now they are part of this underside of the laser. You can see the 2 bits. And that, in theory, what happens is as you raise and lower it, the 2 dots move further away or closer together. You want to get them close together or get them to join, and then in theory you are focused and good to go. What I will say about that is dependent on if they are in the right position. Mine are in the right position, I have checked it, but if this gets knocked, and they could easily get knocked, if they get knocked or misaligned, you can't 100% rely on that, so just make sure they're good. And like I said, use a tool just to quickly focus it. But that is now plugged in and ready to go. Now let's move on to some testing, and I will show you exactly how to set this up in LightBurn as well. Once you get your laser, you'll also get a USB stick, and on that you have all of these different files, and you can see there's some parameters, instruction manuals. In particular, you want to go into the software folder and you'll find a parameter folder. That's just good to know. But in the plug folder, there is a file called Mark CFG7. Take a mental note of that. We will need to use that for LightBurn going forward. Within LightBurn, click on Find My Laser. In my case, it did find it. If it doesn't, you might have to manually add it. But it'll bring you to this screen right here. Then we want to import that file that I literally just showed you. So navigate to that plug folder and Mark CFG7. This contains very specific details that are aligned to your Galvo laser. And you'll see it will update LightBurn settings to have all of your specific laser settings there. Click next. You can rename it here. You can set it to millimeters per second, which is recommended. Also set the bed size, which it automatically does. And then you're done. You're literally set up now. there you have it. We have our full suite of results here. I'm going to run through them and let you know my thoughts. So we'll start off with our 3D printed material test. As you can see there, it did an absolutely brilliant job at marking 3D prints. This is PLA. We also did a test on ABS, which was a bit darker, but as you can see, you could definitely get brighter colors there, I think, if you played around with the settings a bit more. And we took those settings for PLA and we produced this brilliant SVG engraving onto a piece of PLA, and I've double-sided it just to try it a couple of ways. That came out brilliant. Then we have our 0.45mm thick business cards. These are black anodized aluminium, and it did a really great job. I mean, look how clear that is, really clear. And I did a couple of different ones, as you saw. And I actually did, this might be useful to someone, so I'll share it. I actually did a material test on one of these business cards, so feel free to take those settings as you like. Then I actually decided to do a cutting test. So as I said, it's 0.45mm thick, and it took a few passes to do it, but it's done a really clean cut. I don't know if you can see, probably quite hard if I do it in front of that. You know, a nice white, shiny perimeter on it, and it did disfigure the card a bit, so I need to refine those settings. We'll move on to these PU materials, this synthetic leather, and this one was a black material, so obviously there's no contrast on this one, but you can see it still cut into it really nice, and it made like a nice kind of 3D looking one. Then we did a different color, and on this one I absolutely love the contrast on that. Look at it, really black. Then I demonstrated to you guys exactly how you could put this into practical use, and here's an old spanner I had lying around. I did a few different tests on the back of it, as you can see, and yeah, this is what I settled on, and I'm really happy with that. It's really indelible, and I think we could get it even darker. And talking of dark, we will move on to our stainless steel next, and as you can see, these ones here, they came out probably one of my favorite engravings of all, because it's hard to explain to you just how much of a pure black that is. I mean, the reflection isn't great, but look at that. You can see it's just really made a great contrast, and it looks absolutely brilliant. So that's good. That's a good thing. I wanted to show you guys. I mean, you saw me do this live test, and we got a load of different colors, and I'm going to play around with that in the future. But I also wanted to show you, I have been doing a lot of testing with color on this, and with pictures on stainless steel, and even on the back you'll see I've been doing so much different colors, different pinks, different ranges, really trying to dissect this and get a good grasp on the color. So there is a lot of potential, but you can see, I mean, we've just been touching the surface of what this thing right here is capable of. But it has done an absolutely spectacular job, and I really, really like that. And I hope you guys can take the settings that I've shared and produce something very similar. So now that I've had a chance to test this laser and you've all seen the results yourself, I want to let you know my opinions and tell you if I would recommend it. I'm going to give you some pros, some cons. I'm going to tell you what I think this laser will be exceptionally good at doing and who I think it's for. So the pros of this laser, so it is industrial, it's robust, it's really solid, and because of that, this is absolutely ideal for a warehouse or a workshop or even a professional setting. You know, this thing is made to last, and it's all solid aluminium or stainless steel parts. It's all machined, really, really good from that side of things. So another pro is the enclosure. If you want that extra layer of safety, the enclosure gives you that, and it is a big, chunky, safe enclosure with built-in safety features. I think that's really useful because at the end of the day, these lasers are damaging to your eyes if you look at them with bare vision. And that means having an enclosure allows you to close it up, and it means if anyone does unexpectedly come in or look at it, they are protected. Another pro for this laser is the quality of the laser. It's a JPT branded laser, and anyone who knows anything about lasers know they are one of the best laser manufacturers out there. They produce the Galvo head in there, and it is a really efficient, reliable laser source made from top quality materials, and because of that, you're going to get a really reliable, long-lasting laser that should last you for years to come, even with industrial professional use. To me, that's really important, and I think that's a great feature. So another pro of this machine is the actual laser itself. So it's a 30 watt MOPA laser. So with that, you can produce a range of colors, but you can also do some nice quick coin embossing, or you can just strip a metal and mark it really quickly. And it gives you a nice contrasting black color. And I think that's really good if you want to mark your tools, if you want to create some nice distinctive pieces, if you actually want to remove rust or anything like that. It can do so many things. And because the laser's 30 watts, you can actually do those things really quickly and really efficiently. So now we're going to move on to the cons for the machine. So my first con for the machine goes towards the enclosure. And I actually said the enclosure was a pro, and I firmly believe that. However, there's one element of it that I think is a bit of an oversight, and I could be wrong about it. I'd love to be told otherwise, but it is basically the limit switches on it have to be engaged for you to use the laser. If you open the door, it obviously shuts the laser off. That's a great safety feature. However, if you just want to actually be able to look in there or position your item or frame your item, it's really difficult to do when the limit switches are turning the machine off. So I would like a way to bypass those limit switches. In this case, I actually tape them closed, but an actual official way to do that would be really good. So my final con for this laser is the instruction manual that came with it. It was definitive enough that I could get started, but if I was a complete beginner, it would be a little bit intimidating because, to be honest with you, it wasn't very thorough and the pictures within it weren't that clear. I managed to get it all put together, and as you saw earlier when I assembled it, it's a simple mechanism to do it. However, I had to use a lot of common sense in that, and I had to use a lot of my previous experience. So someone who is new to this could find it challenging. Hopefully my video will help you know how to do it, but that is something that I think could be improved within this laser. So who do I think this laser is aimed at? I think this laser is perfect for professionals, people in industrial settings. It's also good for home use if you've got the space for it. But this thing is going to keep on going and going. It has been so reliable since I've been using it. And because of that, I think if you want to be doing industrial repeat practices, marking things up consistently or engraving things industrially, then this is perfect for you. I think it's ideal for a professional, ideal for industrial settings. That's who I would aim this at. Now the important question, would I recommend this laser? So as you know, I have been using it for a number of weeks now. I've really got stuck in and actually really learned how to use this. And having done that, I've seen the good and the bad as you've seen before, but let me tell you my opinion right now. Would I recommend it? Yes, I would recommend it because the build quality is absolutely brilliant. The actual laser itself, the laser performance has been brilliant. The consistency, the reliability has been brilliant. I haven't had any issues. Like I said, the only issue I had were the limit switches, and that is probably something that could easily be overcome. I really did like using this machine, and I really am thankful that OMTech has sent it to me. Thank you very much for that. Hopefully the cons that I've given earlier in the video, OMTech, you'll take those on board and maybe implement it into future designs. But if you are thinking of getting this laser right here, I would recommend it, and it has my seal of approval. Thank you very much for watching today. It's been an absolute pleasure. If you've enjoyed the video, if you've got anything out of it, please subscribe to the channel. We have lots of other laser reviews and we make lots of project videos and tutorial videos. So there may be something for you specifically there. Thank you for supporting us and have a great day.